back, YouTube. Sensei Domino here. I got my COMC order in the mail earlier this week, and this is the first chance that I've had to make a video showing some of the cards that I picked up. It's 31 cards total, so I'm going to break this up into two different videos to keep it from being super long. This first video will be the vintage baseball cards that I picked up, and I'll make another video with the vintage basketball cards that I picked up, along with a pair of vintage football cards that I picked up as well. This is the first purchase that I've made from COMC. It didn't take long once I got back into the hobby for me to learn about the website. And I think the concept is great, you know, having all the cards in one warehouse. And, you know, once you've accumulated a certain number of cards, you can have them shipped for one flat rate. I think over time that's going to be a big time money saver. So, you know, I wanted to give this a test run, see, you know, the quality of cards, to see if the, you know, the quality matched the pictures, you know, on the website. And I also kind of wanted to see what the shipping was like. Overall, I'm happy with the results, although I did have one card, you know, slightly damaged in the mail. I'm going to kind of put that on me because I didn't have any of the cards put in top loaders, and a pair of them were oversized 1950s cards, and I should have known better. I knew they were oversized, and you know, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, and I think 35 cents a top loader is a little high, and so I elected not to have them top loaded. And you know, in all honesty, I didn't expect them to ship them in team bags and in a bubble mailer, but I guess 31 cards isn't a large enough order for them to put them in a box and you know, pack with peanuts, you know, to fill the empty space. But at least now I know, and that was the whole point of this order, is for me to learn a little bit. And the card that was damaged wasn't super valuable, but you know, it is kind of one of the cards that I wanted to pick up the most, and so I'm slightly disappointed, but you know, I think I'll be able to find a replacement if I have to have one. Anyway, let me get started showing some of these cards. I've rambled long enough. Here is a 1955 Bowman Sherm Lawler. I'm starting to collect Sherm Lawlers, and I thought this was a nice example of a 1955 Bowman. There is a damaged corner right here, but I did pick up on that in the picture, so I expected it. You know, these 55 Bowmans are prone to chipping. There's also there we go. There's also a miscut on the back, but I was aware of that as well. There's a lot of chipping along the edges of these 55 Bowmans, and I thought, you know, this one had minimal chipping, and that's one of the appeals of this copy of the card, so I decided to pick it up. Sherm Lawler was a pretty good player in his day. He was a 9-time All-Star, and I think he was one of the better catchers in the major leagues in the 50s and 60s, and you know, that's why I've decided to kind of start collecting him. He doesn't get a whole lot of hobby love, and I don't think he'll ever make the Hall of Fame, but I do think he was a pretty good player, and so I'm happy to pick this card up. Next, another guy that I've mentioned that I have started to collect is Billy Pierce, Sherm Lawler's teammate. This is another really good copy of a 55 Bowman. Unfortunately, this is the card that got damaged in the mail. You can't really see it, but this right here was sort of bent in the team bag. It's not too bad. There isn't a full-on crease, and you know, maybe over time it'll flatten, but you know, it was damaged. So there's also a kind of a ding corner. I'm not sure if this was there before it was shipped. It's possible that got damaged in the mail as well, but still, this is a nice looking card for a 55 Bowman. Not a whole lot of chipping. the corners are pretty nice. This one's super sharp. You know, and I decided to pick it up. You know, being that I collect Billy Pierce. Billy Pierce was a 7-time All-Star as well. And also, he was an ace of the Go-Go Sox as well. Early Wynn was on that staff as well. He's in the Hall of Fame. And Billy Pierce's numbers, I mean, if he had gotten better run support, I think he could have easily made the Hall of Fame. And I think that, you know, the hobby should take a second look at this guy's statistics, because they're very similar to several people that are in the Hall of Fame. And I think he deserves to be there someday as well. So I'm happy to pick up this card and add it to my collection. And in the future, if I want to pick up a better copy with this one being slightly damaged, I'll certainly do so. The next card I picked up, this guy wasn't one of the better pitchers, but he still had a solid career. He was a 3-time All-Star. This is Milt Pappas' rookie card, 1958 Topps. I thought this card had really nice eye appeal. I'm okay with picking up cards that I consider to be in sort of EX condition. And this one's got, you know, some slightly damaged corners, but they're not too terribly bad. And the centering isn't too bad either. Sorry about the focus. Yeah, there's a couple corners that are a little bit more damaged than others, but still I think this is a nice copy of a Milt Pappas rookie card, so happy to add this to my collection. Here's another Sean Lawler. This is from the 58 Topps set. This is his All-Star card. I thought this card looked really nice as well. The corners are a little damaged, but it's not too bad at all. Take a look at it. This corner are pretty damaged. This one's slightly damaged. This one right here is pretty sharp. So, you know, overall, I think, you know, this card is a nice EX copy. I'm really happy to pick this up. Here's another Billy Pierce. This is from the 59 Topps set. This card's kind of sharp. All 4 corners come to a nice point. What holds this card back is the centering on the back. It's a little miscut. Sorry. And also, there's some bleeding of the colors in the white border as well. But I still thought this was a nice sharp card of a 59 Billy Pierce, and so I'm happy to pick this up. Here's a guy who was a pretty good player as well, a pretty good power hitter, Gus Zernial. His most famous card is probably the 52 Topps, where he's got 6 balls nailed to a bat, and he's holding up a 0. But still, I think this is a nice copy of a 59 Topps card, and that was one of the appeals of me picking this up. Centering isn't bad, really clean back, and the corners are pretty sharp. So I'm happy to add this card to my collection as well. Gus Zernial, he was a 1-time All-Star as well, so pretty good player. Here's a 59 Topps Smokey Burgess. Smokey Burgess was a 9-time All-Star. One of the better catchers in the National League. Centering isn't the greatest on the front, I know. And there's a little bit of corner wear, but still, this is a nice, sharp copy of a 1959 Topps card of a player that was pretty darn good. Little bit of corner wear, but it's not significant. This is exactly the type of card that I'm more than happy to pick up to add to my collection. Sort of that EX range. Very nice eye appeal. So happy to add that one as well. Here's another very good catcher from the 50s, 60s, Del Crandall, who became a manager for a short period of time as well. Um, Del Crandall was an 11-time All-Star, so he was a better player back in the day. That doesn't get a whole lot of hobby love. Centering isn't too bad at all on this card, and the corners have just minor damage. So again, another copy of a 1959 Topps card that I think is right in that EX range that I'm looking for. So I was happy to pick this card up as well. Here's another card from that same set. This is a Dick Stewart rookie card, I believe. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is rookie. Centering isn't the greatest, but these corners are sharp. Look at this. Oops, sorry. There's not a whole lot of damage on this at all. And to get this copy in my collection, I'm more than happy with. Centering isn't the greatest on the back either, but super clean, super clean. I'm more than happy to get this card. Dick Stewart was a 2-time All-Star, but one of the things I like is his nickname, Dr. Strange Glove. That's just great. Here is a Hank Sauer from the same set. Again, this is a super sharp card. Hank Sauer at one point in time was an MVP. I'm not sure what year it was, early 50s. And he was a multiple-time All-Star as well. So I'm happy to pick this card up as well, to add it to my collection. Corners aren't bad at all. Really nice color on the back. Just a super clean card. You know, I'm happy to be able to find cards of this quality on that COMC website at an affordable price. So, add this to my collection. Here is a player that wasn't an all-star, but his brother is a Hall of Fame manager and a very good player in Joe Torre. I picked this card up mainly because of its condition. This card is nice. There's not a whole lot of damage on the card as far as surface. The corners are super sharp. The centering is nice. There's a little bit of a print defect right there, but I'm okay with that considering everything else. I mean, just look at this card. It is gorgeous. And when I saw this was kind of on accident. I just kind of found this and was like, you know what? That's a great looking card. Let me get that. And so I picked it up, added to the collection. Here's another player that was just average. Wasn't ever an all-star, but Wayne Terwilliger. How I know this guy is he was a manager of an independent league team that is kind of in the vicinity of where I live. He was the manager of the Fort Worth Cats for a while. And that's why I decided to pick this card up. And also, it's another super sharp card from the 1959 set. The centering isn't the greatest, and there's a little bit of edge damage right there. If I can get it to focus, there we go. A little bit of edge damage, but it's minor. What would hold this back is the centering, but still, I'm more than happy to pick up a card in this type of condition of a player that, you know, I happen to know about, you know, more for his managing career than his playing career, but still, you know, for the same reason that you'd pick up a Sparky Anderson or something, you know. Happy to add this to the collection. Here's another card from the 59 set, Benny Daniels, Rookie Stars in 1959. The reason I picked this card up is I had a beat-up copy of this when I was a kid. And I always thought it was a cool-looking card, so I decided to pick it up. I think I paid 50 cents for this or something. And it's in pretty good shape. The corners aren't as sharp as some of the other ones I've shown, but they're not bad at all. A little bit of damage right here, but you know, compared to the one that I had with rounded corners and creases, I'm more than happy to pick this up as a fond memory of my childhood. So, happy to add this to the collection. This next card does have a Hall of Famer on it, but it's for the wrong sport. Dave DeBusschere. Considering I grew up in the, 80s, where the multi-sport athlete was becoming a thing again with, Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders. I thought the appeal of picking up a Dave DeBusschere baseball card was one that I couldn't pass up. He was a very, very, very good basketball player. And, when I found out that he had a baseball card, I was like, you know what? I'm picking up his rookie card. It's got a little bit of damage here. And the centering isn't the greatest. Plus, this right here, there's multiple copies. There's the 62 Rookie Stars, and there's also one that's the 63 Rookie Stars. This is in a little worse shape than I expected it to be. This right here is a little worse than I thought. I mean, it's almost like there's a little cut in the card or something, because you can see it on the back. So I'm probably going to pick up a better copy of this at some point. But this is a very nice placeholder of this. And I know the 63 top set is kind of condition sensitive with the edges in this color part. But still really excited to have a Dave DeBusschere rookie card, because I don't know if I'll be able to afford his basketball one anytime soon. So happy to add this to the collection. And now we get into the 70s. Here is a 1972 AL ERA's leaders. Another one of those multiplayer cards that I've been picking up, really cheap. This one for the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. And Vida Blue is a really good player. I'd pick up some of his cards if I could as well. This is a super sharp copy of this. And the centering isn't bad at all. So I was happy to pick this up. I don't know if I paid $1 for this. I probably paid less than $1 for this, so I'm happy to add this to the collection for that price. This card right here, 1974 Topps Ferguson Jenkins on the Texas Rangers. I now have the 74, 75, and 76 Ferguson Jenkins from his first run with the Texas Rangers, and I'll try to pick up his later stint cards here in the near future as well, kind of finish the Ferguson Jenkins Texas Ranger run, I guess, if you will. He was a really, really good pitcher, and so probably pre-Nolan Ryan, he might have been the best Texas Ranger pitcher in history. And he's a Hall of Famer, so happy to add this card to my collection. And going with that Texas Rangers theme, another kind of iconic player in Texas Rangers history. This is Jim Sundberg's rookie card. This is another card that if you look at it, it looks like it's in fairly good condition if you were looking at a picture of this, but there is like a dent right here, almost like this was in a binder at one point and it kind of got pinched right here. And so, although I'm okay with having this copy now, I feel like I need to get a better copy of this. It's a super cheap card. I paid 50 cents for this, so I'm going to get a better copy of this at some point. Yeah, the centering isn't the greatest on this, but I've already talked about that 75 set. It's garbage. The quality control was non-existent. But still, I'm happy to have a Jim Sundberg rookie card in my collection. Anyway, that's it for the vintage baseball card pickups from the ComC order. I will have the vintage basketball / football cards posted here shortly, maybe either tonight or tomorrow. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you again later.